Greetings. Welcome to One Wind Astrology, where we explore, learn, and share all things astrology. My name is Michelle Mondragon, and I'm here to do a little musing with you today. A couple of things I want to cover is Pluto, the first week of Pluto in Aquarius. What's the vibe? Personally, collectively, a little reflection on that. Another transit that really kind of um, was very stimulating and noteworthy was the Jupiter Mercury opposition, which is going to kind of continue a few times. And there's some mutual reception that's noteworthy to talk about. Also, we have the Sagittarius new moon that's coming up on the 30th. And it's kind of the inspiration of the background today. And we'll get into that in just a moment. Also, the retrogrades, which I just kind of mentioned Mercury, but Mars is also getting ready to retrograde. And there's some other juicy things I just want to highlight that haven't happened yet. They're on the horizon, but just want to put it out there to maybe journal about, to follow and observe, to see like what's happening in the collective, what's happening out in the world, and what's transpiring in our own little bubble of reality as well. So the background. First of all, I am really working on getting more comfortable with technology, getting more comfortable in front of the camera and speaking. So um, this is kind of fun for me and a little nerve-wracking, and it's kind of taken me all morning to set up for this. But as I was just um, thinking about what I want to talk about, thinking about what's been going on so far, um, and thinking about how to transmit this, I started playing with ChatGPT and creating images around some of the elements that are in the chart. And one thing that kept coming up for me around the Sagittarius new moon is like reaching the summit and like having a view. So we've Capricorn's top of the chart and we've reached the top of the mountain and we have perspective and view, but also sky's the limit. And with Sagittarius, there's a lot of really cool things about this new moon that wants us to really like aim as high as possible. So um, let's start with Pluto though. The I did post a video previously, one of my first videos actually on this channel, and it was just a little bit about Pluto in Capricorn and just a little rant and casual musing about what we might expect. And there's a few things that I wanted to share. Now, this whole share screen thing. Bye. Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yes, just desktop. I'm gonna share my desktop. As crazy and maddening as it is, you see it all. Okay. This is really the main thing that I want to show. Let me move everything else out of the way for a moment. Yeah, I'm hoping, can you see this? Dang it. You're sharing your screen. Okay. So I hope you guys can see me or see this image. Pluto and its transits through each of the zodiac signs. So I mentioned in the last video about Pluto how well, actually, I don't even think I did, but it was part of my musing, my contemplation. Okay, I was contemplating after the video this element where like how many years did each sign get of Pluto? And one of the teachers that I love, adore, and wish I could consume as much content as he puts out, it's just tremendous. Un montón de información. It's a lot. He puts out a lot. His name is the Leo King, David Palmer, the Leo King of the Leo Kingdom. His astrology is amazing. He teaches a lot. He puts out so much content, and you really have to be present to catch the little nuggets. And as someone who's still learning, um, there's just one little nugget can lead you down a rabbit hole and then another to another direction. So this is just one thing that I wanted to share around Pluto, that it's a great visual image of how up until this point here, Pluto and Capricorn, we've really seen Pluto move fairly quickly through each sign. I'm for example, Pluto Libra generation, and I've seen now well, I mean, I was really little, obviously, so I wasn't I've seen three and a half, we'll say three and a half Pluto zodiacal transits. It's insane how much um, generational transformation has transpired since I was born. And I was born in one of the faster time periods where Pluto was actually moving faster because of the elliptical orbit. And so that's what we have experienced up to this point. So we've seen accelerated, condensed, and concentrated amount of transformation. And now having Pluto leave Capricorn, it has really deconstructed everything that has come before. It has deconstructed um, and shed light on the nature and truth of our values in society. Well, it's way more complicated than that. And I don't want to get too wrapped up in that in the moment, but I just want to highlight basically that since Pluto and Leo, the transit of Pluto going through each of these signs has been going faster. It's been accelerated in its time in each sign. And now, as of, well, really, Pluto Capricorn, we're seeing um, a slowdown of Pluto. So since, and I can only reference, recent history, Pluto and Leo, I mean, we've seen um, tremendous amount of, I mean, in each generation, in each sign, there's new inventions that kind of move us evolution, like move society forward in an evolutionary area, in an area, evolve in a, yes, something like that. And basically, um, there's been, I mean, we've had internet, cars, highways, travel, more accessible to everyone, and innovations in health and technology, and just it's been so fast, so fast. I'm one of the generations that didn't have, like, what went from landlines to cell phones to computers to the internet, like really fast. Okay, so anyway, I think I've kind of belabored that point. And so now, and all of these generations, even my children who have Pluto in Sagittarius, they have experienced things going quickly, and now they're going to see things slow down. We're all going to experience the slowdown of this. I want to say it's like a slow down and unravel, like the nervous system. When our nerves get so contracted and we're so just like anxious and riled up, and the energy's so vibrating so high. Um, I feel like this slowdown is like a slow unraveling of the nervous system, decompression, and things are just going to look a lot different. Things are not going to move as quickly, and we're going to see instead of a centralized concentration of power, as we've seen in Pluto Capricorn for a long time, we're going to see um, people working more in like little nodes or pods or communities, and just more of them dispersed, decentralized. And of course, we see that with cryptocurrencies coming in. It's about what do we value in this new era that's being ushered in. And if the other thing I really wanted to highlight is just like if this is the mark of a much slower time, because even though Pluto is going to be in Aquarius, about 20 years, I mean, look at this. 23 to 24 years in Pisces, almost 30 years in Aries, 31 in Taurus. I mean, this is just another marker of a different pace of our evolutionary path. And I think I maybe used a lot of words just to say that. Okay, so anyway, what's the vibe? How did it feel? Let's come back to, well, I'll just stop share for a moment. Okay. So the vibe for me, this is kind of why I used this AI generated background for this particular video, because up until Pluto moved into Aquarius, it really just felt like anticipation, almost suffocation, like just stagnant air, like being in a room that's really stuffy and yeah, suffocating. And then with the anticipation of something coming, not knowing what it is, of course. And I don't think that we've seen it all yet either, or seen a bit, not all. Clearly, we have 20 years to see it all. But what I mean is, I don't think we've yet seen the full introduction of Pluto into Aquarius, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But as soon as Pluto did enter Aquarius, and for me personally, it's my moon and Venus are all in Capricorn. And so even though Pluto has moved out of Capricorn, it's still in one of my houses with those planets. Anyway, so as soon as the sign changed, it felt like someone opened a window in that stuffy room, and like I could breathe. And I couldn't see what was going on outside. It still feels like a lot of unknown. Um, Hence the clouds. The view is obscured. It's not clear yet. And but yet there's some relief. And there's some hope and optimism with the Sagittarius new moon as well, which is really cool. Collectively, we have just seen a lot more come out, a lot more things like truth come to light. And I don't really watch a lot of news or follow anything in particular, but you don't really need to be like, if you're just scrolling on YouTube, you get enough, or Instagram, you get enough to kind of get an idea of some of the things that have been transpiring. Um and we see a little bit more movement towards liberty, unity, and working together for the future. And that's, my optimistic point of view. Okay, so maybe in another video, we can get into more collective stuff. But where did Pluto ingress? Where is your Aquarius house, and how did you feel it? And I'd love to hear about what your experience was down below in the comments. Let me know. Um, this channel is new and just growing and kind of figuring out um, how to serve and who this is, who this may help. And so getting your feedback in your comments below would be awesome. Thank you. Okay, so moving on. One of the things that inspired this video and the just get started, just do it kind of thing, and the playing with new technologies. I've got new lighting, I've got a new audio microphone. I had to figure out how to set it all up, and just prepare myself. I had to learn a couple things to get here. So the Jupiter and Gemini is about learning, learning new skills and communication. And Mercury is also about communication. And so Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, and Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and they are switched. They are in each other's homes. So in mutual reception, let me get a chart to share with you that piece. But it's this transit's kind of brought up quite a bit for me personally. One second, and I will bring something up for us to look at. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna share, right? Share my screen. Cool. All right, so here we go. So this Mercury here in Sagittarius, Jupiter here in Gemini, even though they're not like direct, like a exact opposition, because Mercury is now retrograding, it is going to be, well, they're both in retrograde, right? So they'll be hitting this point one or two times. We'll see how many. I'm not really sure. But this one is lingering a little bit, and they're in mutual reception. And so they're communicating a lot. And the conversation is about, um, how can we develop new skills, take these new ideas and, disseminate, share with the world, Sagittarius being broader horizons, and Mercury is more about local. But what I was inspired to do was learn, play with ChatGPT, create some images. It takes one thing leads to another, and you just, get all mercurial on it. And so this has kind of inspired my, you know, for me, this is how it's showed up, and that's what I've been contemplating and musing on and taking action on. And so I just wanted to share that. And the sun's here too, so it lends more of its energy. And yeah, the Mars is not quite retrograde yet. And also in this chart, this is, while I'm filming, and I'm also in Arizona, so you want to apply your own time zone. But look at how close this Neptune and North Node are getting. I'm going to do another video musing about that. And here we are, just 10 minutes into Aquarius. So again, we're just not there yet. Okay, now I'm going to bring up another chart here. One moment, please. We will talk about the Jupiter, I'm sorry, the Sagittarius new moon in a moment, but one of the things that's coming up right away that will kind of kick us off is, and again, I need to share my I just want to share, you know, a more clean image. Okay, so this is the chart for the Pluto Venus conjunction that's coming up after the new moon, right? So you'll notice here that Mars is now retrograde. Mars is retrograde, the um, Mercury is retrograde, Neptune is retrograde, Chiron's still retrograde, Jupiter is retrograde, Uranus is retrograde. There's a lot of, so like, how do you really start a new era on a retrograde? I don't know. I don't know. But it feels like it's a very slow start to getting a fuller picture about what this is all going to be about for the next 20 years. But one of the things, you know, when the sun and a planet, or I'm sorry, when the planets meet, you know, they come together and have a conversation in a conjunction and they set a new cycle. So before we get a full picture, Venus is meeting with Pluto in Aquarius. It's the first planet of interaction. And they're starting a conversation about, hey, how are we going to do this Aquarius thing? You know, what are the values? What are the, you know, what are the beauties? What are we creating? What's the vibe from a Venusian standpoint? And for me, I can already tell like the more futuristic, cosmic, um, really vibrant, like um, I don't know. I have some imagery that I'll show. It actually is in the thumbnail that I created. Um, Kind of industrial or steam, like a futuristic steampunk is kind of the vibe I'm catching with the aesthetic. So uh the aesthetics is going to change. What we place value on, what we consider beauty is going to change. And obviously, just all things Venusian. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that. Again, here the Neptune North Node is getting closer, and I'm really interested to see how Neptune um, plays out in Aries also. So there's a lot of, you know, outer planets making big transitions and ingresses into other signs that are really going to just change things for all of us in a way that we can't even comprehend at the moment. But this is exactly why I want to do these musings, kind of like to follow and vlog and communicate and learn and share with others to do this together, basically. Okay, cool. So here's that Venus, Pluto at 0 degrees, 22 minutes. So it is a slow start, and there's a lot of internal processing of the last, 18 or 16 years of some of the outer planet transits. And we've just gone through since 2020 an enormous amount of like really big astrology, really big evolutionary, like transformational transits. And so I'm actually really grateful to see this pause and reflection, like feel the breeze come in through the window and just like take a sigh and process what's going on or what has transpired. All right, so that is one chart that I wanted to share. And hello again. That was one of the musings. Like, how will our values, beauty, um, Venusian things be shifting now that it's communicating with Pluto in Aquarius? And also, hello, the restrictive and yeah, I think the stuffiness in the room was Saturn, honestly. If I had to choose an archetype, Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn. Um, okay, I'm sharing my screen again. We're going to do another chart. Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn has been dispensing its energy overall in the room. So it has been very restricted, stuffy, and you know, like testing like a taskmaster, lessons of Pluto Capricorn. And so when we welcome in and into a new house, new zodiacal sign, our ruler changes, and Uranus is the disruptor. And yeah, it might sit stagnant for some time and, out of nowhere, like switch things on a dime and create a little bit of chaos. So, it's part of the reason why we use expect the unexpected with Uranus. So there is also, I believe, a little in that other chart, there was some in the current transits, there is a nice little trine from Venus in Capricorn over to Uranus in Taurus. But in this chart, this one is where I'm hoping that we might see, excuse me, more about what this Pluto and Aquarius transit will be about. We have another conjunction here with the sun, not another, the first conjunction, excuse me, of Sun Pluto in Aquarius. So, and then as Mercury is moving forward now out of retrograde, it will be also touching Pluto. And so everyone's coming to Pluto for the new program, the agenda. And I think slowly we'll start to see, and this is January 21st. So I think by, end of January, mid-February, we might see a little bit more about where this is going in the world and individually. So, and then we have here the Neptune North Node with Venus and Saturn. That should be really interesting. Venus is exalted here. And now it's going to be like dispensing the North Node. Wow. Venus dispensing the North Node in Pisces. Wow. That is really cool. I just am letting that sink in for a moment. Because up until this point, it has been dispensing the South Node in Libra. And that's been all about relationships and, letting go of, things that are not in balance in our lives and relationships. And so now this shift into Pisces, which is Pisces, the 12th house, traditionally representing, you know, um, the subconscious, the more spiritual, the um, institutions of retreat or mental institutions, hospitals, jail, prisons, things like that. But like this, it feels like a dreamy, like, but here Saturn's here to bring structure to this new North Node focus and purpose, and Venus supporting. So that's juicy. That's juicy AF. I love that. And I'm going to really need to think about that one a little bit more. My intention was to really just share this chart with you to see one of the places that I think I believe we'll see more information coming out that will help us to understand how we can use, like, get some footing on the path here and some clarity and some footing. Okay, so that we can look forward to January 21st, 2025. And let's see, what else did I want to say? Okay, so those are the two main ones I wanted to share. And then just before that, Sun conjunct Pluto, we see, give me just a moment here. Now, this is the first time I've only just recently come across this concept about draconic charts. And again, I owe this to the Leo King. And I've only just taken the first course about the draconic chart and all the ways to use it and the meanings that you can layer, which is a lot. But this is just another date to bring your attention to kind of to contemplate and dive into. It's like another little wormhole. So um, just be ready. Just be ready to dive deep. Um, like once you open this up, you'll want to really get into it. I wish I had more hours in the day, if you can believe it. It's just so much. Okay, so the 0 point of the North Node is a reset for everyone. For everyone, no matter where you are, everyone will have. It is a common alignment. It is a unifying alignment that we can all share collectively, no matter where we are in the world. And so it is a transit that you can kind of look as a election for the next, I forget how many years, shoot, for a really long time. I think it's at least 18 years, something like that. It might even be longer, so don't quote me on that. I'll have to come back to it and maybe after I've taken more of the course, talk about it at length. But for the purpose of this video, this is just to kind of wet your whistle a little bit and get you know, excited about learning something new. And for me, it's new. And, you know, if you've heard about Draconic before, you use it, leave me a comment. Let me know how you use it. What are you using it for? How many layers deep do you go? Okay. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out for all of us. And so in this chart, you see the time I have it here for my time zone is 3:02 on Saturday, January 11th, 2025. It's Arizona time. And again, we're resetting with this beautiful stellium in Pisces, and it's just extraordinary. And Chiron is now direct, so it's happening with a Chiron direct. We still have, oh, okay, so, you know, we have the moon at 26 Gemini. Hmm. There's a little bit of a quincunx with the sun, Capricorn. Um, Mars in retrograde. So I just there's something happening with the people, like Moon is, the population. Um, Something to do. I don't really know how this is all going to show up. And when you put this chart as a transit in your chart, you can see where this is all transpiring for you personally. And my understanding is that once you do get the Draconic chart transit on your natal chart, you then look to the Mars to see where it will personally be calling you to action, or where the energy will be carrying the most focus. It will be where the Mars is for you in your chart. So that's something to consider. Yeah, so I'm sitting here trying, like, I really want to share what I've had on my heart in terms of activations for this Pluto. And there's just so many things going on around the next couple of weeks, um, all the way into March, that it's overwhelming. Like, how do people, I guess I have to just make shorter videos and more focused. Um, so just look to this transit on your natal chart, look to where the Mars is and see where it is calling you to draw more attention, where the theme of your evolutionary path will be focused on. Okay, I'm gonna stop the share on that. And, or maybe I can share screen. Here we go. Yeah, so this is today. And I'll go ahead and put up my chart just to kind of demonstrate this. And then we'll do, well, I don't want to, oh, I forgot the other thing I wanted to share. Okay, I'll wait just a minute. Okay, let's just finish the Draconic. I'm just going to move some of these points out of the way. All right. So my dogs are all awake now. So if you hear them, if you hear noises, that's what it is. All right. So yeah. So here we have the Draconic chart on my natal chart. And for me, the focus is going to be on the fourth house. And I can absolutely verify that that has been a theme since Mars has been in Cancer overall. Um, the Jupiter Mercury opposition also has me learning more about locational astrology so that I can more intentionally and consciously choose the right place for myself to live in the coming months. So for me, this is where it's showing up, and those are the themes that are, calling, that are moving through my consciousness. So that is something, that's how you would look at it. And what was the other thing I wanted to share with you? Oh, yes. Okay, so the new moon, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove my chart. This new moon, I wanted to share a little bit about, I mean, there's like trines. There's even though lots of things are retrograde, lots of planets are retrograde right now. They're all introspective. Hello, see, dog nose. Yeah, that's Yumi. Yumi wants to know what she's been missing out on. She always gets FOMO. Um, there's supportive trines. Let's see, which ones am I talking about? Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm distracted. It's a really cool new moon. And so we're seeing it in Sagittarius. And again, it's like dream big, set intentions for the most out there ideas. Jupiter is helping to disposit, helping to support mutually through mutual reception. Mercury's ability to communicate these larger dreams and figuring out what it's going to take to make those happen. And so it's super juicy. Let's see. Okay, so there is one other thing I wanted to show you about this chart, and I am going to put the points back on. It's really cool. I've just started learning about, well, I just recently heard about Urania. I think there's like some astrologers that have a whole technique that uses Urania as like a foundational piece of astrology in the system. I've only just touched the surface. I have not delved too deep in it just yet, but this is Urania, and Urania is um, all about astrology and astronomy. And do I have what it says about Urania? Oops, not that one. Yes. Um, it's about heaven. Yeah. Urania is often depicted with celestial globe or compass representing her connection to the stars and her role in guiding astronomers. She may also be shown with astronomical instruments such as astrolabe or quadrant. Other attributes are associated with serenity, contemplation, um, reflecting her own connection to intellectual pursuits, and deep thought. So I don't know, this is kind of where I'm going with things, and maybe that's why Urania has come into my awareness. Um, connection to muses. So perhaps Urania is my muse. Urania was one of the 9 muses, daughter of Zeus and Mnemosyne, who were believed to inspire creativity. The name Urania continues to evoke a sense of the celestial, and many resonate with people who are passionate about astronomy, astrology, or other fields related to the skies. So there you have it, my friends. Urania is my muse and has me contemplating the skies, the heavens, and she's having me use tools like Zoom, like AI, like a new microphone, like lighting, in order to, um, as instruments, in order to share and connect with others about this topic. Okay. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that Urania is at the same degrees of this new moon. And Alteris, Antares, excuse me, is also um, a light, I forget exactly what it was called. Again, I'm not as versed. I'm pretty good with the basics of astrology, but Antares. Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. The rival of Aries. It's referred to as the bright red star, located in the constellation of Scorpio. Um, due to the reddish color, which resembles the planet Mars, making it symbolically associated to power, passion, transformation, and sometimes aggression or danger, depending on the astrological placements. So I definitely think passion, like optimism, power, like desire for transformation, um, along with this new moon is making it super juicy. Yeah. Phew. Okay. Well, um I think that's about all I have right now. Okay, so we've established that Urania is the muse for One Wind Astrology, and I appreciate you being here. I will have more to come. You can always find related content. Like for example, I'll post a little bit of my AI images on my Instagram page with some of the context around it. So if you ever want to see more from any of my videos, I'll post in the community or on Instagram at One Wind Astrology. And yeah, leave a comment, please like, subscribe, and I appreciate you viewing this video. And we'll see you in the next one. All right. Thanks, everybody. All right, y'all. If you have made it this far and to the end, I just want to thank you. And this is the image of our muse, Urania. And it is obviously an AI generated image using some elements that I requested, futuristic, cosmic, and whatnot. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And you can also find it on a recent post connected to this video on Instagram as well at One Wind Astrology. All right, thanks again. Peace out. We'll see you in the next one.